Hey boys, what is up? Welcome to the biggest day of our career so far. After winning the last finals match, we are now into the grand final up against the Melbourne Storm, who have proved to be quite difficult for us. As you see, they actually beat us in the first week of the finals. But after winning our next two, we are now into the grand final. And yeah, it's going to be tough. The Storm are a team we faced a lot over the last couple of seasons at the Broncos, and they've proven to... They've had the wood over us quite a number of times. I don't know how many times we've versed them, but I feel like we haven't beaten them very often. But as you see there, a big miss for the Storm. They do have a very good strong side, but Billy Slater is not there. If you watch the first finals game against them, where they beat us quite comfortably, Billy Slater actually cleaned us up. He clotheslined us, almost took our head clean off. And obviously he got suspended for that, so he is missing. I don't know how long he was out for, but he obviously missed a few games, so he's not playing in the grand finals. Cameron Munster, obviously a very good player, very good young player, but it's hard to replicate what Slater brings to the Storm, I should say. So, a bit of mind games right there. They're probably without their best player, if not one of the best. I mean, they obviously have strong players all across the park, Cronk and Smith, and their centres. They have Dylan Walker with Will Chambers, but we're going to start the game off. First touch of the game there. Looking to bust through, but it looks like that man, Cameron Munster, looking to get in our face straight away. Makes a tackle on us, a bit unusual, but I'm sure we'll pay him back at some point. But right here, last tackle, we put in a beautiful little grubber, and it looks like Chambers there having to clean up. And we're going to force the first line dropout. And that's this game. I just wanted to play percentages. It was a grand final. We just had to play smart, not do anything silly. And I felt like we could win this game. And right there, we put Hodges into a hole, but he gets held up over the line. I couldn't believe it. It was such a beautiful play. But once again, almost straight through. But the scramble by the Storm, too, very impressive to start this game. And out of dummy half, I think it's Waddell throws an awful pass and I think it was big Kevin Proctor comes up with the intercept, so a bit unfortunate. We had a fair bit of ball to start the game, but couldn't make them pay. But once again, off the kick return, just the defense to start this game from our team was just very solid. Weren't letting them make much ground at all, and just we were able to get the kick returns up to almost the halfway, pretty much for the first 20 minutes. So very nice stuff. And right here, after making a good tackle off the kick, they get the ball stripped. And we almost go straight through, but once again, scramble by the Storm. Passes it off though. Glenn Stewart here, almost through, but a big tackle coming in over the top there. It's been pretty back and forth. I've got to say we've had more of the running in this the first stanza here, but we just can't get across the line. But I wasn't panicking. Just wearing the Storm down. And right here, we had the numbers. I could have gone back inside to looks like Copley, who swung around. It could have gone out to the winger, but we just decided to go ourselves. The hole opened up, and we scored the first try of the grand final. So a beautiful start to the game. We haven't made them pay on the scoreboard too much, as Ben Hunt actually misses a kick, and I was pretty disappointed about this. It wasn't the hardest kick, and it's a big game. He needs to get those. But right here, we were looking to go for 40-20, but it wasn't a good kick at the end. We were outside the 40-meter line and it went dead, so not a good kick by us, but we went for it. But yeah, as I was saying, we hadn't really made them pay on the scoreboard, but we've been putting the pressure on, we've been wearing them down. So hopefully the latter part of this game it comes back to hurt them. And right here we bust them up the middle, almost straight through, but Cameron Smith, the man, comes back to do a nice bit of cover defense. Cameron Munster was coming across, but it would have been a foot race. As we get the ball the way to Slido, who throws the offload, and Glenn Stewart in a grand final goes for the one-handed pickup. I was furious. The team was filthy, but he said he'd make it up to us, so hopefully he can come up with a few big hits. But 36 minutes gone, we were able to hold him out. Just the defense was beautiful, and right there, I just totally went against my game plan. I throw a ridiculous offload that I'll say right now, I went forward, so the Storm probably a bit annoyed about that one. It went like a meter forward, but we got away with it. I don't know how they didn't call it, but I'm thankful they didn't. Once again, though, we put in a kick, and it goes dead. So, once again, their last tackle option is just not working out. But the Storm here not much time left. They go for a risky offload. We do come up with a ball, so we got one last chance, and I decided to go for a sneaky field goal, way wide of the post, but it was the last play of the game. I thought might as well go 5-0 up. The Storm could score a try and miss the kick, but right here they put up the bomb, and he was wondering. We actually didn't want to contest that. I wanted to just tackle him if he caught it. He went for the bat back, and thankfully we were there to make the last ditch tackle. And man, I was panicking at that point because we did miss that. Ben Hunt did miss the kick, so I was so nervous. This whole second half was so nerve-wracking, just being up by 4 points. Any moment the Storm could score and pretty much take the lead, because I don't think they're going to miss the kick. So I was very nervous. And right here, we have to make another tackle, another big hit, in fact, putting him on his ass there, trying to rev the team up. The defense in the second half has been a little sloppy, and the Storm here throwing it around just like a touch footy game at the moment. The offload, and they're down the sideline here, and he swerves around one, and we come up with the large ditch tackle. Couldn't believe it. I think it's Cameron Smith there on the wing. Thankfully, it wasn't one of the wingers. And once again, the fourth tackle in a row we've had to make puts him on his behind there. A huge tackle. And then Glenn Stewart, after making that error in the first half, he comes up with a massive tackle. I thought he was going to be over for all money. And then last tackle, we race up. We weren't even letting him get to the kick right there. So, that was a bit of harder than Mel stuffs right there. That was crazy. But right here, we didn't kick well in the first half, but we weren't making any ground that set. I decided to kick early, and it was a nice kick against the wind. We pinned them down in there, around their 20-meter line, and then Glenn Stewart gets the offload, and insane straight through. Cameron Munster trying to come across with Will Chambers, but he's not going to get to us, and that is the second try for Insane, second try in the grand final. Could it be the match winner? The defense has shown that it probably could be, but anything could happen in this game. It was just a nice bit of play, and this is what I was talking about in the first half. We weren't making them pay on the scoreboard, but we were just wearing them down. And the Storm have had to do a lot of defense this game. So right there, they were a little lazy around the ruck and just a little too slow. I had a bit of a hole to run through and went straight through it. And that's what I like to see. And then, yeah, things just started to click a little bit. We're working a bit of a play here. And I don't know who it is. It might be Corey Oates, in fact. He was straight through the hole, but he decided to pass it. I was pretty annoyed about that. We get the ball back here, pass it back to Waddell, gets back to Oates, straight through, gets it back to me, and almost straight through the gap, but the Storm cover across there. Last tackle, about 60 meters gain, good stuff. And then once again, 50 meters gain, that set. We were just, like I said, the Storm looked tired. We were sort of running all over them at the end of this second half, and we were just playing good footy. We weren't throwing the ball around, just taking some hard hit-ups. And as you see, 8 minutes to go. The Storm put in a nice little kick, but we cover it up, make a good bit of ground. And it looks like this game, I don't want to say it's over because anything can happen, but 6 minutes to go. We're just playing the percentages. Gets it off to Milford. Shrugs off one. Great stuff by Milford. And last tackle here. Milford gets tackled with it, so we decide to put in the kick. Against the wind, it's pretty hard, but we find a good bit of space there. The Storm play comes across and we put him on his backside again. Just the defense's game was just unstoppable. We were just smashing blokes left, right, and center. It's the last game for the Broncos. We wanted to make it count, and that's exactly what we were doing. Right here, I thought we were straight through, but our stamina was pretty low. Cameron Smith, that man again, comes across to make a huge tackle. Just keeping the Storm in it. In fact, though, they are out of it. It's the last minute of the game. The grand final is ours for the taking. We can't lose it from here. The boys having a bit of fun, I guess. They're throwing the ball around. I guess they can do it this last few seconds. I don't mind if they're going to throw it around at this stage. That's fine with me. As you see, we're getting around. I was actually going to go for field goal, but decided to run across field, get the flick pass back to someone there. He passes it, and we are going to eventually get tackled with the ball. But we do win the grand final. Our third year with the Broncos. Our last year with the Broncos for I don't know how long, but could be forever. And we pick up the premiership. I could not believe it. What a fairy tale. Especially from last year, being like, I don't know, where did we finish last year? Like 15th on the ladder. Justin Hodges holds the trophy up, so well deserved. It's sort of a bit like real life, The Broncos, obviously last year came runners up to the Cowboys, but the year before that, they definitely weren't finalists like team. So sort of a bit reminiscent. As you see, we pick up man of the match. We were unstoppable. Cameron Smith, easily the best player for the Storm. And the Storm definitely missed Billy Slater. But, what a series it has been so far. I can't wait for next year. We're going to be playing for the Panthers. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that, and I will see you next time.